Hey there, before the episode starts, I want to remind you about my new e course, A Beginner's Guide to Building a Spiritual Routine. This course is meant for beginners who are looking to learn more about meditation, affirmations, working with healing crystals, and journaling. I go into depth about the ways that I started putting these things into my daily routine and some of the things that can help you start putting these things into practice so that they become a normal part of your day. If you are looking to learn more about any of these things and you're wanting to kind of shift yourself into a higher vibration, this would be a good place to start. I put a lot of my heart and soul into this, and these are a lot of the things that I started doing when I first started out in my spiritual journey and have gotten me to the place that I am today where I can even make a course, do a podcast, have a brand, and I just really want to share that information with anyone who can be helped through what I did. So, if you are experiencing anxiety or depression or just looking for some ways to change up your routine, this is a good place to start. You can find the link in my link tree, which is in my bio on Instagram and will also be in the show notes. And I really hope to see you guys enrolling. I'm excited. There will be some live classes once, things get going, more people enroll, and it's going to be awesome. So make sure you check that out. And here is the episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of Healing with Nama. I am Casey, and today I am joined by Miss J. Alissa. So, can you remind me how to pronounce your full name?
Javia.
Javia. Okay. And she is a Reiki master, a tarot reader, a clairaudient and clairsentient psychic, a numerologist, so much more in the Dallas area. And I've been following her for a few years now on Instagram, and I just love her content. And I signed up for your email blast, so I get those too around the time of like the full moon and all that stuff. And it's just always really super helpful. So I always look forward to seeing content from you. And yeah, her services are super popular and they sell out literally within minutes. Like it took me about 2 years to get a booking with you because they fill up so fast and I could never like get it on time. And then at the time that I actually got one, I was living in Texas. So we were on the same time zone. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna set my alarm. I have to make sure that I'm awake for when she opens her books. And then I was kind of going back and forth, like, should I do it? I don't know. And then when I went back, some of them had gone. I was like, oh my God, I gotta get them fast because they were just already like selling out. They'd only been open for a few minutes. So super popular. And I loved the reading that you did. It was very in depth. You gave me some good insight. And I'm just excited to see how the things that you told me about will unfold. So thank you so much for being on the show today. I'm really grateful to have you here.
Thank you, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Thank you. So, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Well, I used to be a medical assistant back in the day, and I used to be a Christian too, and raised in the South. And the more I started tapping into my spirituality and getting to know myself better and having a stronger connection with spirit, I just changed, created the life I have now. And I'm from Arkansas originally, 28 years old.
Okay. And so how did you end up in Texas?
It was one day I just quit my job out of nowhere, and I just packed up and came here. I only knew one person. I just felt like spirit wanted me to come.
Oh,
So I just packed up my truck and moved down here one day.
wow. Okay, so you just kind of took a leap of faith and it worked out for you.
Yes.
That's great. Okay. So, how did you even end up? So, you said you had like a religious background, a Christian background. So, how did you even end up doing what you're doing now?
So when I was like 13, I was in church with one of my best friends, and that's when I was like a devout Christian. And she was telling me that she basically didn't believe in the Bible because it had been rewritten so many times. And, it's like a telephone, when stuff gets left out and changed, the more people get their hands on it.
Right.
And so at that point, I started questioning. And yeah, I mean, I remember the very last time I went to church, and I got the message I needed to hear that day. And then when I was going through a divorce, I was literally isolated away from everybody. I think Spirit wanted it that way. I walked into a crystal shop because I was buying crystals to protect myself and protect my son. And the tarot decks, they called out to me. I had never read cards. I had a reading before, but I had never read cards myself. And I didn't know much about it, but I went over there and I got my first deck. And when I came home, I don't know how, but I just knew how to read. So I
Wow.
never put the cards down.
Wow. That's so interesting. Um, that you were even able to recognize that they were calling to you and you answered that call, even though you hadn't done it before.
Oh, yeah,
I think that's really important for people to understand. Maybe it's not tarot, but sometimes there's something that's pulling at your energy, and it's important to kind of be aware.
exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's just really interesting, and I love watching your tarot readings and your Reiki sessions. How did you? So did you start with tarot first?
Yeah, I started with tarot. Then I would say, like that same year is when I went and became a Reiki practitioner, which I knew I was going to do that before anything because around the time of the divorce, which even pushed me to get into this, I immediately got a Reiki session and it changed my life. And so that was on my list to do anyways.
Oh, okay. And so you got your Reiki certification and then you went through all the training. So you're certified in traditional Reiki, right?
Yeah, with the Usui lineage.
Okay. Okay. And then so that led you. So I'm curious too, because I know that I was looking on your website and said that you were also clairaudient and clairsentient. And
Yes.
I'm wondering how you came to, one, discover that, and then two, be able to like say that about yourself, because I feel like I am clairaudient, but I don't really tell people about it, or I'm not fully embodying it. So I'm curious as to how you got to that place.
It's funny because whenever, I said when I got tarot, I don't know how, but I just knew how to read.
Hmm.
So I would tell people the first few months, I would tell people, hey, by the way, I'm not a psychic. I just know how to read the cards because I can feel the messages. And I would literally tell people, not a psychic, I just feel everything. And I was on my way to work one day and listening to a YouTube video, and she was talking about the different psychic gifts. And when she started naming clairsentience, I was like, wait. This is what I have. And so I started looking it up more. And that's how I made that connection. And with clairaudience, I'm a medium too. So that right there just, hey,
Oh, okay.
always been able to hear. So I just, I like to put it out there so people know exactly which gifts are my strongest.
Yeah. I think that's important too, because there are different like different clairs. Um like I know clairaudience is when you are able to hear things that maybe other people can't hear. Clairsentience is like, feeling like, I guess, energetic messages, is that right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And clairvoyance and all those different things. So I know for me, I feel that I am clairaudient. I'm just not sure how to develop the clairaudience, I guess. or if that's even a thing, you know?
I think developing clear audience can be done. Well, meditation first off, great way because it'll unblock you. Reiki is a great way to help unblock you as well, to open that up. But it's really all about being able to quiet your mind. Because, and I tell people when I do readings, hey, if you hear me being quiet, I'm just meditating to connect. Because in those moments that you're sitting in silence like that, you're able to hear more and more. And the more that you practice that, the stronger it's going to become.
Right. Yeah. So I think that that's probably more so what I can focus on when I do meditate is like hearing those messages, because it's happened to me before. Like, I remember doing a distance Reiki session, and I was, doing the whatever, and then I hear a voice in my head, not like, mental health wise, but like I hear, a voice in my head say, "Tell her blue," and
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" And then the voice just like, "Tell her blue, tell her blue." And I'm like, okay. So when the Reiki session was finished, I was like, I just want to tell you, like, I kept hearing, "Tell her blue, tell her blue." And she's like, "That is so crazy," because I was meditating on the color blue because I wanted to work on my throat chakra. And I was like, oh
Wow.
my gosh, wow. So that was the first time I like really tapped into it in that way. Um, so I'm excited to do that again. I was like, what did I do that time that I don't do any other time? But I think it was just being tapped into the same energy as her, maybe.
Exactly. And being in that relaxed and meditative state. That's why we get messages when we do Reiki. And I tell people the purpose of Reiki is to heal you. That's it. But we're going to get messages. It happens.
Yeah, definitely. And just to like kind of touch on the Reiki thing and in any other like spiritual modality, I guess, I always want to make sure that people know that we are not healing you, like we are not fixing you. We are like working with you, and you also have to be doing work. Like you have to be the one to implement what we say or we don't say. Like you have to take what resonates and leave what doesn't, so it's not like you come to us and we're going to fix you. We're just kind of like delivering messages in a way.
That is very important.
Yeah. So I just like to make sure that anybody listening knows that, like, yes, service tarot is great, Reiki is great, like they're very helpful, but if you are not implementing those things, then it's not really going to work, because we already know like how to channel and all that kind of stuff. So we're here to help you, but we can't do the work for you.
Hmm.
So so now you said you were in the medical field, right?
Yes.
So how did you make the shift into being a full-time entrepreneur? What did that look like?
It just happened one day. I told myself that I wanted to, it was what, 2018. I told myself by January of 2019, I want to quit my job. And and I knew I wanted to move around that time too, but when it started getting closer, I just wasn't ready financially. I didn't have enough money saved up and I was just too scared. But it's really funny because whenever January of 2019 came around, I got this really beautiful opportunity that came up in regards to my business and me doing readings, but it required me to travel to Atlanta. And I remember telling my boss, hey, I had this great opportunity with my business. I need to be off of work for 2 days. And she told me no. She basically told me,
Oh
like,
wow.
if you go here, you're not going to have a job when you come back. And so at that point, I was like, well, I guess I ain't going to have no job. So I went ahead and
Hmm.
quit.
Wow. That's like that's I think that's something very important to point out too, is the faith that you have to say, I believe in my business so much that I'm willing to let go of this job that I don't really want or that's not serving me,
Mhm.
and pursue my business because I know that's going to work out.
Exactly.
That's amazing. That's really, even for someone like me who's still working, in an industry that I've been in for a long time and I'm ready to transition out of.
Hmm.
That's, I guess, inspirational to hear, because you are now doing so well. and I hope to, be a very successful full-time entrepreneur. But there is that little bit of fear of leaving the quote unquote stability of a 9 to 5.
Hmm. Thank you. And no, I mean, so if I could just be honest, because we're on a podcast, I don't normally talk about this, because it's kind of private. But
Mm-hmm.
but I will say that I get that, like the stability of a 9 to 5 and everything, and that I have a kid, so it's something that really worried me too. But since leaving my job, I've never ever had to worry about money. And I'm at a place now where I'm making multiple six figures with my business. And then I still live below my means, and I save literally everything. So I will say that having that faith put me in a different tax bracket. Like, and I know a lot of other readers that are in a very, or people that are entrepreneurs in general that are in very similar financial situations, because yeah, you get the stability, but it's like when you're doing your own thing, it's unlimited. And especially when you're walking in your purpose, you really get taken care of.
Wow, that's a really good point, and I'm so happy that you said that, because it's something even just for me to think about, not even just for my listeners, but for me, because I am in that spot where I feel it. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to transition and take the leap. But there's just that little bit of that voice in the head that's like, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is a good idea. So I my intention is to, by this year, to be a full-time entrepreneur. So that is what I've been praying and meditating on, and I'm just gonna speak it out, out loud into existence on the podcast, and say that will happen for me this year.
It is absolutely going to happen for you, and I cannot wait to see it. I'm gonna be looking for updates.
Okay. So another question I had was, why do you love doing what you do? Like, how did you know that this is something that you could do all day without it feeling like work?
Because okay, so spirituality, it is a lifestyle. And I actually said that to my friend. I remember like around the time I discovered tarot, I didn't know that would be my career. But I was on the phone with my friend. I said, girl, listen, all I want is a career where I can be myself, where I can live on my own terms and where I can be myself. And I am a very spiritual person. So when I realized that, because doing what I do, I have to meditate. I have to keep myself grounded. There's certain practices that I do daily that I absolutely have to do because of my work. And so realizing that I could meditate, be in nature, work on my own terms, and get to be my full spiritual self and help other people and change lives. Oh my goodness, like that's what let me know, like it provides me with the lifestyle I want. And not financially, because like I said, I live below my means and I save everything, but it provides me with my lifestyle that I want, in terms of me being able to take care of myself spiritually and to take care of other people spiritually.
Right. Yeah, that's so important. And I mean, like I said before, you have, a huge Instagram following. You have such a large reach now across social media, with your website, with your bookings. And I think it's important to point out that it was because you took that leap of faith. Because if you were still, working a 9 to 5, you wouldn't have had enough time and energy to put into the business. And I don't think it would have flourished as much as, or it may have taken longer, I guess.
Exactly, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, it would have been, a longer process. So I just really love to see, like, how it's just really inspiring to see
Oh,
somebody, it's just really, it's an inspiration for me, because I'm in that place, like I said, where I'm just ready. I'm scared, but I believe in my business so much that I'm willing to take that risk.
mm-hmm.
So, do you have any more words of encouragement for someone like me who's looking to transition into full-time entrepreneurship?
I mean, yeah, like what I will say is, and this is encouragement, but also realism. Like when you step into the world of entrepreneurship, don't think that you're gonna get somewhere, and basically don't think that you're gonna get to a place where you're never afraid, because that fear is gonna come in and get you here and there. But It can be done. Them people that you see online, I know social media is fake, but a lot of the people that you see online that are quitting their jobs and flourishing with their businesses, people are genuinely doing that. Like, you could do it too. You
Yeah.
can do it too. There's nothing holding you back except yourself. And you have to think about, like I said earlier, even though your job provides stability, your business can provide you with way more than what you could ever imagine. And that's what you have to think about. You have to think about the fact that you only have one life and people are doing it day, every day. So it's your turn to go live your dreams and to take that leap as well and know that you're supported.
Yeah. That's really good. Is there anything that maybe you wish you would have done differently, or was there any part of you? I guess I know you were scared, but was there anything that was like something you wish you would have known before you made that change?
Um, hmm. Let's see. No, there's nothing I wish I would have known because everything worked out so well. Like, I guess the fear of not knowing exactly what was going to happen, except that I was going to be okay, is what kept me going.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So I guess you just kind of got to a place where you believed in yourself so much that there was no like, I guess the quote unquote negatives weren't something that were going to deter you.
Yeah, like, girl, I've been through so much in life that I feel like with my business, anything negative that can happen with that, I'm just prepared for it. So
Yeah.
it's whatever.
Well, I
But
mean, it seems to be working out for you, you know.
mhm.
Um, so can you kind of just tell me where what are you looking forward to doing this year? Like what kind of things are you looking to what's your goal for this year? Do you have a goal?
Yes. So my goal, well, I don't know if it's for this year or not, but just my upcoming goals is to get my YouTube monetized, which is almost there, like right there. So I get that monetized so I can will continue to post on YouTube and have another stream of income from that. I want to do my own Oracle deck. And then there is something very, very big that I'm working on that I can't tell anybody. But anyway, I got that coming too. So
Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited to see what that will be. I'll
yes.
be looking out for that. So, where can people connect with you and how can they book a session with you? What kind of services do you offer?
So connecting with me on my social medias is going to be Jae Alissa Alissa. That's going to be on all my social medias. And then I offer readings, Reiki sessions. That's pretty much what I do. But when it comes to readings, kind of like, because we just hopped on the phone and did it. The reading can go in any direction. So I don't offer certain types of readings
Mm-hmm.
necessarily. We just kind of do whatever flows. And I'm a numerologist, so I like to add that in the readings whenever it's necessary. And booking is on my website, www.javiaalissa.com. And yeah, you got to sign up for my email list and wait until I send out a blast letting you know that my books are opening up, and then be on my site at that exact time to catch a reading.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to book with her, set an alarm and make sure you get there like exactly at the time because they fly. They just fly off the website. Like they'll be gone in no time.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you so much for sharing, your energy with me, for sitting down with me and talking to me about just taking a leap into believing in yourself. If you are looking to be a full time entrepreneur, especially in the spiritual community, um, because it's really all about faith,
Mm-hmm.
whatever your faith, looks like for you. Um, and then also kind of I know you touched briefly on making that transition from being someone who was religious to someone who considers themselves spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that that's something that people also, I don't want to say struggle with, but that's the only word that's coming up to my, to the forefront of my brain.
Yeah.
Um, is just, that battle between being religious and being spiritual. Um, but still having faith in something, you know.
Exactly.
All right, so it was so nice to talk to you. I'm so thankful that you jumped on the call with me. Um, and I'm excited to see the things that come up for you this year. And I'm excited to, I'll message you and let you know when things have shifted for me. And it probably won't be much longer. I
Yeah,
believe that.
yeah. I'm so excited for you, and I cannot wait to hear all of your updates.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.